Right, let's drill some holes in the block. So we said that we needed to be able to attach wheels, and therefore we'll have to fit an axle into the block, so we need to know where we can drill the holes. So if you were to make some sort of a vehicle that just stood upright like that perhaps, then you'd need an axle near the front and an axle near the back. So let's drill a hole in that corner and then another one in that corner, and we're going to use the little pointed wooden dowel. So it's exactly the same wood that's used in the axles, except I've sharpened a proper point on it, put a few marks on it just so you can identify it as being one of the tools rather than one of the parts, and then we can simply drill the holes. But rather than just guess where to put the hole, look, we know it's going to be in the corner, but let's be aware that the battery is near that corner as well. So whatever hole we drill has to go between the edge and where the battery is. So you're very confined as to where that can go. So the hole would have to be drilled right through there. So actually using the drill, lying it on and then turning it around like that gives you a very good idea as to where to drill the hole. Now I've already done this on the other side, and there it is there, look. So I've gone between the two and said, right, there's the gap there, and then simply moved up about a centimetre. So that's a bit less than a centimetre. A centimetre is fine. Up from there, I've actually drawn a line on this one all the way along so I can get the next axle at the other corner in line with it. So there's our first one, and we simply push and twist. Now if you force this all the way through, then you can't keep very good control over the direction you go. And it's not just the direction left right in that orientation, it's also left right in that orientation. So we've got to be careful here, because the axle could end up at a very strange angle. So we've got to be able to view from the two different directions as it travels through. So you mustn't do it quickly. So we'll just push and twist, then we'll stop, check, lovely straight line there. If it was down like that, you would know you were going the wrong way. Take it back out a bit, realign it and start again. Fingers up close while you're doing it, because you've got to firmly support it. Here, let's push a bit further in, turn it up again, check that it's going that way, check that we're going that way. Let's have a look. Yeah, repeatedly but very slowly you'll get all the way through, but you've got to keep checking. So check like that, there we go, last bit, there we are, and we're all the way through. So it's quite tough stuff, this plastic foam, but it makes a very good sort of foundation for the axle. Don't force the axle through, twist it through, and it'll follow the line of the hole that you've just made. Right, let's have a look. Get the axle, same both sides. To begin with anyway, you might not, when you put a thicker wheel on, it might need to be further over a bit towards that wheel. But for now, that's absolutely fine. So I'm pleased with that. Nice and straight there, nice and straight, and in line with the sides. So really you're saying, is the axle parallel with the edge that way, and also parallel with the edge that way as well, and then it's lined up. Fabulous. Next one, so I'll just take that one out while we're doing this. Next one, I've marked the position about centimetre up, centimetre in. Now you haven't got any obstructions here, so not as critical. Same thing again, push and twist, keep checking every possible orientation. There we are. Yeah, there we are. Fabulous. Pull it back out by twisting it out. In goes the next axle. I'll put the other axle in. And now on go the wheels. So this hole for the motor in the centre there I've got one here, look. If we drilled the hole a bit further this way, nearer towards the mortar, then the elastic band would have been a bit more slack. Now sometimes that's a good thing, and of course it depends on what size elastic band we use, but that's always worth bearing in mind. How far away from a stretched elastic band do you need to drill the axle hole so that it's not too tight or not too slack? So quite often what people can do is, you can have an approach like this, look, where you say, right, I'll position the wheel, but then move it towards where the motor is going to be. Now that's not going to work because the axle of the motor, the spindle of the motor, would touch the wheel, so we've got to be further away. So about there would have been fine. If we wanted one there, that would be fine. If we wanted one there, that would be fine. Anywhere around there. Now would miss completely down there because there's no material, but you get the idea. So just think about whereabouts that's got to go in relation to the motor spindle, which is there. Now, have we created another problem? Well, yes, we have, if we were going to use this hole for the motor with the fan. So let's have a look. So here's one where the motor position is sticking out so that the fan can attach. So on goes the fan there. Now you'll see what the problem is, look. I've had to move the axle and therefore drill the hole in a new position, because that was the old axle position, and if the wheel was in that position there, it would bump into the fan. So sometimes, that's not going to work at all in the old position. So this hole's being re-drilled further round. I've also got another hole in this block for something different, but don't worry about that. That's nothing to do with what we're doing today. So fabulous. So move the axle in a bit, keeps the wheels out of the way of the fan as it rotates, and that's a better way to operate, to drill the holes and position the wheels than that way. It's more suitable for when you're doing the fan, whereas that's fine for if you're doing the drive belt version of it. So think about whereabouts you're going to drill the holes, and then make sure they're drilled parallel to the edges that you're drilling through, the sides that you're drilling through, and take your time when you do it. Okay.